Ever since Fable was announced, we haven't heard that much about Playground Games and how the development progress is going. Everything that we know so far about Fable is that the game has been in active development since 2018, that is being developed by Playground, and that there are some huge potential talents working in the company. Presumably, that is not actually the case anymore. We'll get to that later in the video. But there's been some rumors around here and there lately of the game actually being still quite some time away, and it actually seems like it is. But not everything is bad news. There's some positive things that we are going to discuss later in the video, so if you're interested in that, stick around, get comfy, let's talk about it. But before we get into that, consider sticking around, consider liking the video, it really helps me a lot, like you have no idea. That being said, let's get into the matter. So first, let's talk about the juicy stuff and the details and credibility about it. During a BGCS podcast, Games Industry Biz, head Christopher Ding talked about how Xbox is trying to secure as many deals as possible to have a healthy source of exclusive stream of games, due to most of their exclusives catalog is still quite dry, and many of some most important of them are still quite away. He even goes beyond that and claims to have inside sources saying that, quote, I've had a few conversations with friends at Xbox Game Studios. Everwild, Perfect Dark, Fable are so far away as in they might even be in a new Xbox by the time these games come out. Now I'd like to add my personal opinion in here and try to understand this statement as grounded as possible. To me, these games in a new Xbox, to be plausible, would be another version of the Series Xbox, not a new generation. It's all about semantics, but to possess it before the new Xbox without adding an adjective to clarify that he's just talking about a new Xbox of this generation sounds ambiguous enough to think that he believes that Fable, Perfect Dark, and Everwild will be in development for the next 6 or 7 years, that this current generation is going to last. New version of the current gen Xbox, plausible. Completely new generation Xbox, now that's risible. And on the other hand, things are actually not looking good for those of us that were expecting Fable to be in our consoles next year. We know as a fact that the game has been in active development since 2018 with a studio of over 200 people working in it. Having in mind that the standard for AAA games developed by big studios have a standard, pardon the redundance, of development for 3 to 4 years, it is only natural that some of us were expecting to see Fable in 2021 or 2022 at latest. However, it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. A while ago, a bunch of clickbaiters were stating in a whole bunch of articles that Fable was being made in a custom in-house built engine rather than a third-party one like Unreal Engine. And I say clickbaiters not because of the fact that they are building the game in a in-house engine, but because you can find articles that read as it follows. To help build this new Fable graphics engine, Playground Game has also posted a job listing looking for a rendering engineer that could help them to build it. The person would have to be fluent in C++ programming language and mathematics, alongside experience in programming games, and then, after that, you have the actual fact. Much like Playground's Forza Horizon games, it seems that Fable is being developed using an in-house custom engine, rather than using a third-party ready-made toolset. A job listing recent posted by Playground Games to their official website makes explicit mention of, quote, working with a custom engine, end of quote. And though Fable is not, of course, mentioned by name, the dots are pretty easy to connect. Then again, perhaps it's referring to the rumored Forza Horizon 5. In my personal opinion, that would be much more plausible, taking in consideration that Fable has been in active development since 2018. It doesn't seem plausible to me that they are working on the engine at this long stage of active development. And while I do believe that Fable is being developed in an in-house engine, I highly doubt that they are right now in the stages of developing the tools for the game from the ground up, since the full active production, yet again, pardon the redundancy, it has been there for over 4 years now. However, what it actually is quite preoccupant is their actual job listings at playgrounds, and yes, I know this leaves a lot to be desired since all we can do about those is speculate without having the complete internal knowledge of how the company is being handled internally. But if you go there to the official job postings at Playground Games at the time you're watching this video, you'll see major positions still being hired, like animation director, art manager, art producer, associate lead gameplay designer, and each and every single one of those are publicly set in the listings to be for the positions at Fable development team. If you have watched my other Fable video, one of the most important persons that I've talked about in that video is Kim McCaskill, which was the lead narrative designer at the scripting team at Fable. She is no longer working in there. As you can see, there are some turbulences in here. The people being in the lead of things are being changed left and right. There's so much change on the up-top commands, the people directing the game. If this continues like this is quite worrying, it's troublesome, because at the end of the day, while the whole talent of the company is behind of it, orchestrating the game and like making it possible, each little thing that they discard, each little idea that the previous person that was working on, like the little idea that they left in there, is going to be inherently different from the idea that the new person occupying that post is having. How will they be able to make this, like, how will they catalyze all of this in a synergistic way that actually makes sense? To me, personally, it worries me a little bit, the fact that they are changing so much in the gaming positions for the leading people. However, not everything is lost. While we've been talking in this little discussion with your friend RPJames about Fable being still quite a weight on the turbulences inside of the company with the hirings, it seems that we might actually do get to see some Fable gameplay at the E3 this year, hopefully to put at ease every concern we might have. Taking to Twitter a few days back, principal animator Chris Godal teased that developer Playground Games was, quote, making something, end of quote, for the upcoming all-digital rendition of the Electronic Entertainment Expo E3, between parentheses, in June 2021. We're making something for E3, and then there's the link, Chris Godal, April 12, 2021. The tweet was taken down a little while after being posted, which adds a little bit more credibility to the matter. Playground has been silent ever since the first announcement for Fable, so it only come to reason that they would like to keep this secrecy as part of their marketing, and they are not allowing people inside of the company spilling the beans before they can actually deliver the surprise. To be bluntly honest, I am quite worried about Fable. This game needs to be a hit. When you're a company that are trying to compete with a big huge titan that has games like Horizon Zero Dawn, Demon's Souls, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Ghost of Tsushima, a little bit more arguably to be open to debate, The Last of Us 2, which was Game of the Year last year. I mean, after the bad reception that Fable 3 had, after the cancellation of Fable Legends, after the shutdown of Lionhead Studios, this is the last chance, in my personal opinion. This is the last chance that Fable has to be amazing, and it has to be amazing. It needs to be that little push that Microsoft needs in the market, alongside with all of these subsidiaries that they're working on their exclusive titles, but Fable is one of the most important ones. This game needs to be amazing. It needs to. It's like not even open to discussion. It needs to be goddamn amazing. That being said, do let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about all of this? Are you worried a little bit about Fable like me? Are you still excited and hoping to hear a little bit more from them in the E3? That being said, I'll see you beautiful gamers in the next one. Stay safe, stay awesome. I'll see you later.